Hi, I'm here to speak on behalf of the campaign. I've also been asked to be inspiring. I don't think I will be just yet, because first I want to show you a rather different emotion. I want to show you cold, deep-seated, heartfelt ire, rage, bitter ire and rage. I, however, feel somewhat limited in addressing you. I represent this campaign. That gives me no real authority to speak on the socio-political aspects of this. I cannot talk about job losses or whatever, but I think you can guess at the loyalties of most of our activists. I think you can guess at the loyalties of most of our supporters. But I can't really address those issues directly. So why? Why did we adopt Vestas as such an important campaign? Well, I think most of you know the answer to that. The answer is starkly clear. This is a symbolic fight. And I want to dwell on that idea of the symbol, because I do not mean by that that it is contentless. It is not something empty. It is no question, do we let this one go and, oh well, we've caused a bit of a stink, we've given them to think that green power matters, but we'll accept some other workplace, some other factory. No. I mean a symbol in its original terms. A symbol is an origin, a contract made of two broken pot shares. The guarantee is you can only put the two pieces together. Well, that rather reminds me of what I get from the government. Because from there, it went to the idea of a mystical symbol. One half you can see, one half you can't. What do I get from that building? I get a path I can't see. I get the words, endlessly, endlessly, streams upon streams of words and promises, and I get what seems to me tantamount to nothing. This campaign is the first campaign in this country on the climate change. We started a decade ago. We have been organising marches, speeches, rallies, over and over and over for a decade. I now have to open a paper every day and see every little commentator Dubney Halfpennyworth in there, having arguments I had in pubs 10 years ago with people like Darren, with people like John McDonald since we met up, with trade unionists who we've met over the years. I am livid about this. Why are we livid? We all know why. We all know why. This isn't just a beast threat in peacetime. The only threat commensurate to this, at all, is nuclear warfare. Now let's go back to those days of the Cold War. What was the green slogan of the 70s? It was, think globally, act locally. I would suggest we might want to reverse that. I suggest you start thinking locally and act globally. What I mean by thinking locally is like Vestas campaign. Think how many people this has turned on to the subject. Think how many people will begin to realise what is at stake in this. You've got to start thinking about not just your international community, not just the globe, not just your national community, your local community, your school, your family, yourself. I am into the politics of survival about this, and that has one conclusion. It means not growing a beard, buying a gun, moving to the hills and shouting, "Get off my land." No, it doesn't. What it means is building the world's first ever global campaign demonstration or organisation to hold to account the rancid governments of this world who have no intention this December at Copenhagen of offering us a deal in any way commensurate with the problems we face. We are given to understand that the United States and China will be two of the most significant players in it. They are presented as antagonists. They are presented as if they have irreconcilable differences. I would suggest to you that they are actually in secret cahoots. It suits both of them to defer the solution, and it suits our government to defer the solution, and the EU, and every other single player at the board, until they get to realise that this issue is unprecedented in scale and in scope, and in one very, very subtle, but very, very real difference from all preceding issues. And that is this. When we usually see our nations gather to attempt to resolve a war, or a trade dispute, or anything of that sort, it remains purely in the human and social domain. Agreement is effect sufficient. It may be unjust. It may displease people like me, bleeding heart liberals who wish the Africans got more out of it, who don't like the fact that the aid budget is misdirected through this accounting phenomenon or another. But the point is, what matters is an agreement. This is not like that. Our political global class is locked into the belief that if it can contrive agreement, it has addressed the problem. It has not. You cannot treat, negotiate, or use diplomatic wiles on the wind and the waves and the carbon in the atmosphere. This is a natural phenomenon, and it is going to burn our butts if we don't do something about it. Thank you.
Lovely Hutton has been